Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank to the curators TEDx BITS Pilani Hyderabad who have provided this beautiful opportunity to interact with you all. I will always remain thankful to all of you for bestowing this honor upon me. If you give me a large canvas, I can give live presentation, live demonstration. But words are not my tool of expression, so kindly excuse me. Wherever I go, I have always been asked about use of black in my paintings. Here also someone asked me the same question. Black is usually considered an inauspicious, sinister and mystifying color. This question takes me back to my college days. During that time, we all used to sketch our drawings with faint lines. All of us were scared that dark lines would highlight our mistakes and would be difficult to correct. One of our professors was very particular about using dark lines. He used to say that using black lines shows your confidence and completeness of the drawings. It was from then I threw away my pencil and started using black pen for my on-the-spot sketchings. Honestly, I really never had any interest in exploring further the various subject matters covered during my graduation. After my graduation, I explored tribal life with natural surroundings within my district Ahmednagar and made some on-the-spot sketchings. My exploration began with Bhandardara. There I stayed in the huts of tribal. I ate their food. This day-to-day interaction helped me to sketch their life with ease. After some time, I happened to meet the director of IHMP, an NGO located at Aurangabad. He showed keen interest in my sketches and invited me to draw some illustrations for NGO publications and conduct art and craft workshops for rural people. After conducting Rangoli workshops with the NGOs, I came out with the results that rural adolescent girls build their self-confidence and improve society's respect towards them. I have also worked on students' qualitative development and behavioral changes through art as a medium for rural and slum children. Though this project was recognized by our state educational board and I was awarded with state award, my heart was more focused on finding eternal happiness in development of these children. As I was moving from place to place conducting workshops, I got an opportunity to conduct a workshop for children from Gond community of Gadchiroli tribal area in association with Search NGO led by Dr. Abhay and Rani Bang. There I observed that many teenage boys and girls were mingling freely and interacting with each other. I felt worried about their behaviors. Someone informed me, parents need not worry even if a boy and girl fall in love with each other. It is a striking truth that they never cheat on each other. They may live together, lead family life, have children without marriage. It is a very common sight to see their children also attend their marriage. Such a pure and noble example of purity, honesty, loyalty is rare in this world. It was indeed shocking. I was walking through the dense forest and experienced at noon the sunbeams were shining like diamonds. I heard sound of animals, birds, and saw 150-year-old bamboo cluster on the way to find Gond village. There I observed in front of the house there was a log kept horizontally across the gate. There was a sleeper fixed on the log with its sole upside. I learned this was a sign that newborn baby was in that house. There was also a vessel of water kept in the front yard. It was kept so guests entering the home could wash their feet. In front of another house, I saw a large bamboo basket. It's about 6 feet in diameter. It was used to store rice grains. In that house, 3 women were pounding rice with wooden pestle and were singing in rhythm. That wooden pestle had a lever with horizontal knob. Under it, there was a circular carved stone was fixed into the ground. One of the women would lift and push the log up and down like a seesaw, maintaining her balance with help of the rope hanging from the roof. Another woman would sit down and do work of adding, removing grains under the pestle. The rhythm of complete process was inspiring. Beside it, there was a medium-sized basket. Bamboo basket was hung with rope. In that basket, baby was fast asleep. Basket was tied at 4 points from bamboo beam. I was so inspired that I actually picked up the canvas after 22 years of my graduation and wanted to depict the harmony of honesty, loyalty, and rhythm of their life. I use black color to highlight these aspects. Black is pure. Black is honest. Black is not an artificial bright. Characters in my paintings are black, but they are never sad. While we collect material wealth, they spend their time on collecting moments of happiness. Even though they live in adverse conditions, they celebrate riches in their life. I always show my characters happy and celebrating their lives, even though they have nothing to celebrate. Black is a very heavy color. Even a single incorrect stroke, an entire painting can be ruined. That is why one needs a very clear and transparent mind to work with black color. There should also be a sense of courage within artist's mind. That is why using black always seemed to be a challenge for me. But once I connected with this clarity, transparency of tribes, black came easily, naturally onto my canvas. This tribal life, flourish among nature at Gadchiroli, is imprinted in autumn's harmony onto my canvas. These experiences enriched me to the brim. It built in me an urge to unravel new communities, which led me to travel to Kutch. Across the barren, dry and cracked landscape of Kutch, I found Kutch community is creating colorful, vibrant, rich and fertile life for themselves. This contrast of colorful life and barren landscape had a harmony and precision in it, like we see it in nature. This endeavor of mine continued, and it led me to find my next muse in Madhya Pradesh. There I went into a tribal hut. It was at the end of road. That hut had only one door, and it was just 2 feet high. There was no window or a single hole for ventilation. There were also people living with the animals inside the house. It was pitch dark inside. Nothing could be seen. I went inside with my camera and took 2-3 photographs at random. The glimpse of the inside the house could be seen in the camera's flashlight. There was an earthen stove in the kitchen area of the house. All vessels were earthenware. In such a condition, I could notice different shapes of vessels. One of the vessels was in the shape of handkerchief with its 4 corners little pulled up. Such a designer and unique shape it was. Even in dark, shades of cultures could be seen. There I visited Festival of Bagoria and saw host of young. They were all dressed in vibrant shades and ornamented unendingly. They were celebrating Holi while busy choosing their life partners. I was so thrilled that my brush could bravely and freely unleash many shades uncompromisingly. Though colors enter on my canvas, black never lost its spectre. These colors could freely breathe. They made space for each other to coexist for themselves. This uproar of colors march in a rhythm representing beauty of the tribes. As I treaded through various tribal areas, I absorbed cultures, traditions, ethnicities of the tribes, and hidden living depth of the forest. Among these areas were Maharashtra, Assam, Northeast, Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, and all very rich in natural beauties found expression in the series of Song of Nature. These experiences taught me that nature has a rhythm of its own. Nature is raw, unbound, and wild, yet it is pure, honest, and orderly. These communities living in the midst of nature could reflect colorful, vibrant life which cannot be seen in the mechanized concrete jungles of the cities. They could flow with the rhythm of nature, so I present it on my canvas. In each glimpse of varied landscape, there is one thing I notice. Man and nature live in harmony, complementary to each other. They fill gaps between each other with all colors possible without disturbing canvas of life. Each land in which I opened my eyes and found there was no color misplaced, nothing pricking to eye, only uplifting each other in amity. On my canvas, I tried to show all variety of colors which represent soulful relation between nature, tribes, and cultures of our land. I found great symphony in the tribal area. It is not about their simple living. It is about their oneness with nature and each other. It is about living and letting others live. This is what that makes my art alive and is tribute to the people I admire and will always do so. Thank you for listening my journey of art, and I hope we all live in harmony with our environment. Thank you.